All right.
Don't talk about my ham fists.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Acts of Geekery, Episode 5, The Geeks Strike Back.
I guess we could
yeah.
call it that.
Today is July 24th, 2014. I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And we're here to talk to you about all the news that is going around geekdom.
And other stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever pops into our head, really.
Yeah, and that happens a lot.
There's a lot of popping going on. A lot of head popping.
First thing that I'd like to note is the day we're recording is the day after the 75th anniversary of the first appearance of Batman.
Yes.
So happy...
it's 75th in one day.
Yep.
Happy 75th in one day anniversary.
Yep. I know my friend said the best Facebook quote that I heard about it was, to celebrate, go stalk some thugs and punch a clown. So... yay!
I haven't had my daily allowance of clown punching for a while,
Yeah.
so I should get back into that.
Yeah, you got yourself on a clown punching budget after the fiasco.
Yeah. I have probably I can do 5 a week, and I've only been getting about 2 or 3.
Oh, you skipped the weekends.
Yeah, I'll let them be okay on the
Yeah.
weekends. They can go clown it up.
I was like, oh, it's Saturday. We're safe for another week. Yay. All right, let's go ahead and get into the news. There's a lot of news already coming out of San Diego Comic-Con.
I know.
We
I'm
are
just overloaded with it right now.
We're super tempted to bring it to you as it comes out or as we can. But sorry if I just burped in the microphone there.
Wow. We're 2 minutes in and you've already ruined it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, retake.
Okay, all right. Really?
No, don't really redo it.
All right. We're going to hold off, and we're going to do a full-on Comic-Con episode.
Next time.
Yep, we'll
It'll be
try and
next
post some of the
episode.
cool stuff on our Facebook page if we can. But next week is the full Comic-Con episode.
Yay. We can discuss all the awesome things that everyone's been holding out on for the whole year for us.
Yep. And don't worry, there's a lot of stuff coming out that came out before Comic-Con that we can talk about, starting with some Age of Ultron news.
Yay, not Dawn of Justice?
Not Dawn of Justice. I keep looking
darn.
for it, but Marvel is pulling it out. So they talked a little bit in Entertainment Weekly about the Vision and the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
I really do hope we get to see the Vision. That'd be awesome.
I do too. I'm sure that they're keeping him very hush-hush at this point. But the big part that I wanted to talk about that is that at the beginning of the movie, at least, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are Team Ultron.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of thought this, seeing them at the end of Captain America 2.
Being
and they're
like
in
Hydra.
they're
captives.
Hydra experiments. They're probably brainwashed a little bit, you know?
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty cool. I was super excited to find out that Scarlet Witch is not just a telekinetic in this movie. I was really worried that they were just going to
Stick with the Jean Grey treatment.
Yep, and not give her anything else, but she can literally bend reality and bring things in from parallel dimensions, which would be super cool to see.
Ooh.
And unique in a superhero sense.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they do it. Curious to see how they do that.
Yeah, it's probably going to be
So
red and flashy.
we've got their picture up
Yeah.
here, and I really actually like Scarlet Witch. She's kind of a little more down to earth. Not sure if I like the look of Quicksilver
He
yet.
just kind of looks like he's wearing jeans and a sweatshirt, or not like a sweatshirt, but like a workout shirt.
Yeah, he's wearing a Under Armour shirt or something.
But you're not really gonna get from Hydra any fantastical looking things for these experiments. They're gonna be like, just give him whatever clothes they got on. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, we saw both these characters. You've got Aaron Johnson, Elizabeth Olsen, the unknown Olsen triplet, twinlet, whatever we call them.
She came out a couple years later, but she's still considered one of the twins.
Yeah, she's one of the...
Yeah.
They're little... Aaron Johnson, of course, is famed from Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2.
Yep, and also Godzilla.
Yep, and Godzilla, but not very good in Godzilla. But
well,
I thought he was pretty decent in Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2. He got pretty jacked in Kick-Ass 2 as well. And
yeah, by the way, he's Kick-Ass, in case you're like wondering, what character does he play?
he plays the nerd guy
Yeah.
in the comic book store that doesn't really do much.
I've never really seen Elizabeth Olsen in
Other than
anything else.
Godzilla.
Yeah. Where she played Aaron Taylor Johnson's wife, which, again, will be kind of weird for me to see them as brother and sister now, but, you know, I've watched plenty of Game of Thrones. I think I can handle it.
Yes. It kind of just, desensitizes you to that, doesn't it?
Yeah. We also got a little bit of a scene description. So one of the pictures shows Chris Evans, or not Chris Evans. I'm going to use their names as their characters. How about that? Steve Rogers, Clint Barton, Hawkeye, Tony Stark, and Don Cheadle. Gosh, I failed. I tried the last
start
one.
Again. Captain America,
Hawkeye, Iron Man, and War Machine are all
budget
standing,
Iron Man.
Budget Iron Man are all standing in a. I love how you're like, oh, he's budget Iron Man. I don't like him very much, and he's the only Funko Pop figure for superheroes that you actually have.
Yeah, and it's a bobblehead too.
That makes it more important.
Side note: Elizabeth Olsen was actually in The Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out who she was in. Who she was? But
she was Scarlet Witch, Scott.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, guess what? She was in it.
Apparently.
So there you go. You have seen her in something other than Godzilla, Corey. There you go. We both fail.
Yeah.
We
well,
both fail.
no, you just fail.
I fail worse.
Yes.
You fail too.
Anyway, they're talking about this scene that they're all in, where it's after this fight, and the Avengers are kind of hobnobbing with the defense contractors and everything now that S.H.I.E.L.D's gone.
You see Thor's hammer there as well, so I'm assuming Thor is probably just off screen at the moment.
They're all there and kind
drinking.
of there. Yeah. An exorbitant. Yes, we are just
amount of mead.
We are just great today. This is going so well.
This is our number 5 is the charm, right?
Yep. So in this scene, Ultron comes in and basically tells them his plan. Like, he basically reveals himself, and his plan is to kill all of the heroes in there because they're
kill all humans.
Yeah. But I'm starting with the heroes in here because they're the ones who can stop him.
Right.
So, and then it leads to this cool fight scene, and there's this nice little description of the scene that's going on, where you get to see the characters all interacting together, and just basically a little bit beyond, oh, we're a team of superheroes that got together and now we're together and everything like that. So
yeah. So they kind of have a rapport with each other, and they're good buddies and they're pals,
which makes for a great scene. Like, honestly, new directors out there, here's a little hint for you. If you want to make a good movie, you got to put some character in there. You can't just have Will Smith be some weird captain heading, and they land on Earth and he's injured and he has to talk to his son the entire time. I mean, if that movie ever happens, that would be a bad movie.
I mean, don't do that. That's it sounds like a terrible movie.
A little bit of camaraderie is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really cool. I read it. I read through it. It seems like a very cool scene. In fact, I think they said, it's one of the opening scenes. So
cool.
We're going to get right into it right from the get-go, which would be really cool to see. So,
and wait, so that means, are they going to do that and then later reveal Ultron's origins and who the heck he is? Or do you think it's going to be right before?
It might be like Ultron comes on and it's a suit of armor and everybody's like, Tony, what is this? Because it's a suit of armor. They're going to think it's Tony.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's got to explain it later, which would be really cool.
Yeah, or by opening scenes, they could mean the first, 45 minutes of the movie, because sometimes the movies can get pretty long.
That's true. Look at the Pacific Rim opening scene.
True.
It was like half an hour long.
Yep.
So some other spoilers that we have for you today. If you don't want to know about Guardians of the Galaxy cameos, you want to skip ahead, because we're going to spoil all of the Guardians of the Galaxy cameos right now, including Nathan Fillion, who is not Cosmo.
Dang it.
Sadly, at least according to this, but who knows? They might be just trying to mess with us. Apparently, he'll be dolled up just as one of the monstrous inmates in the fight scene around the prison.
Okay, we'll have to see if we can pick him out of the crowd when he's
If
fighting.
he says anything, we'll be able to.
Yeah, it's got kind of a unique voice.
Rob Zombie has a cameo in it.
Cool.
As the navigator / computer for the Ravager ship. The Ravager ship is the ship piloted by Michael Rooker's character, Yondu. It's really cool. So I like the Ravagers. I'm glad they're including them in as kind of this mercenary group that they have to fight. So
yeah, it'd be nice to see if they can flesh them out further so that maybe we get a Ravagers movie.
It seems like there's a lot of characters, like a lot of enemies in this too. You've got Ravagers. They're going to be on the run from Nova. They're going to be, they're just going to be Thanos, Nebula. Did I say Nebula already?
No.
Nebula. The Accuser, the Collector. It seems insane.
They're kind of wanted by everyone.
That's true. Yeah.
Is Stan Lee going to have a cameo in this?
You know what?
Because he said
he wasn't.
Yeah,
but
he's like, I didn't do anything. I didn't create them. I didn't do anything, have anything in the hand of them. So I don't really think that I should be in it.
But he will actually have a cameo in it because they probably said, Stanley, do you want to do a cameo? And he forgot what he said because he's old. And he said, sure.
He backed out of San Diego Comic-Con at the last second. He got laryngitis and lost his voice.
Oh, really?
He's in good health still, though. Okay. It's not like life-threatening or anything, but he was kind of bummed out.
And all true believers.
Excelsior.
But he's going to be a Xandarian ladies' man.
Okay, so he's Hefner in space. Got it.
He's basically his character from Iron Man in space. In fact, I really hope they just repeat the cameo, just color him blue.
Yeah, where he's got his arms around two good-looking women, and then someone says, "Hey, Xandarian dude," and he goes, "What? Who's that?"
James Gunn, the director, has a cameo in it as one of the masked Sicarian warriors. And we told you about the Sicarians. They're the race from Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a connection there. And then appearing in the film is an actor called Fred the Dog, who assumes the role of Cosmo.
So an actual dog, not a CGI dog.
They're going to do an actual dog, at least for some of the shots.
Yay, practical effects.
Yep. So it's not a cameo, though. So we're going to see a little bit more of Cosmo than, he's sitting in the background with a head cone on. Now, they also mentioned that the Marvel legend that is Howard the Duck is going to be somewhere in the movie.
Oh gosh.
Whether he's in the background of a scene or he's just like one of the comics that the young Star-Lord has before he gets abducted remains to be seen, but they're going to have a Howard the Duck in there, so be on the lookout for it.
We're going to have to go see this movie like 4 times.
Oh yeah. We're going to go see it in IMAX and then regular and then IMAX again, probably.
And then 3D, and then
well, IMAX will be in 3D.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I told that to Casey, my wife, and she went, oh, IMAX? And I'm like, yeah, is that a problem? And she's like, I don't know, do I get a say in it? And I'm like, nope, not really.
Nope, you have no say. This is one movie we get to just make every single decision about.
So, I don't think, let's see. Oh, here it is, right here. The next one. Some more plot detail news. I've got some Star Wars Episode 7 plot details revealed.
Hearing more and more about this.
J.J. Abrams revealed the new X-Wing, an actual X-Wing that he's standing next to, which I'm so glad they're going back to practical effects for Star Wars. It does so much better than...
I'm sure they'll do CG in the space battles and stuff.
I'm sure there will be CG worked in there, but practical effects rather than just George Lucas doing everything against the green
And if you're
screen.
wondering, you can actually find that on YouTube. Just search for J.J. Abrams Star Wars VII, and then put X-Wing in there.
Yep.
And it comes up, and he's just kind of talking. It's just focused on him. He's talking about his charity that he's helping out with, and it kind of zooms out and you see that it's an X-Wing and it's a little different from what you're used to, but it's still really cool.
Yeah, still looks pretty cool.
And a guy in full-on flight suit walks up and he says, "Hey, can I get in there?" And he goes, she's just like, "Oh, excuse me," and he walks out of the way. The guy climbs up and it's like everything. The hatch opens up, he climbs in, hatch closes, and then it cuts. So it's a full practical effects actually working.
Oh my
awesome.
gosh.
Way
See?
awesome.
So much better than it being CGI.
Yeah, being a green screen. And the whole background, they're actually doing non-green screen backgrounds.
Yeah.
So they're just finding places here in the world that they can film at and film whatever.
Which would be great. And they got the money to do it.
Yep.
So these plot details are spoilers. Again, we're going like heavy spoilers the first part of the show, I guess. So if you don't really want to know what's going to happen, skip ahead a few minutes. Now, are they gone? Are the people who don't want spoilers gone?
Let me check. Yeah, they look like they're all gone.
Okay, good. I hate those guys.
Yeah, what a bunch of nubs.
So it starts out with the standard space crawl, according to this source.
Classic Star Wars, got
the
it.
text. And then it shows a severed hand holding a lightsaber that finds its way down to a planet. Well, two of the characters pick up this lightsaber and they head out on a journey to try and find the owner of it. And they encounter...
Hey, dude, we found your hand. Did it have my weapon with it? No.
No.
What are you talking about? We just found your hand. And we didn't preserve it, so it's kind of rotten right now.
It's fine. It'll work okay. Well, they end up on a ship with Han and Chewie, who are not driving the Millennium Falcon right now.
What?
Seems kind of odd.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But they recognize it as Luke's lightsaber.
Is robot hand or his other hand?
Don't know.
Oh geez,
really know
the guy's
too much
gonna be
about him.
more robot than man. He's turning into his father.
Now, they haven't seen Luke in 30 years. So this is taking place like 30 years after the events of Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Which makes sense because the people are about 30 years older.
Do you think they're gonna make Chewie have a little bit of gray hair in his fur?
I hope so.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Or it's like
all gray.
mostly gray.
He's
gray
white
and
now.
black.
When Wookiees are young, they're
and
Ewoks.
when he's like sorry, I'm old.
When Wookiees are young, they're Ewoks. When they're middle-aged, they're Wookiees. And then as they get older, their hair goes white and they become Wampas and have to go to Hoth.
To live in the snow.
Wamp? I don't know.
I don't know,
Whatever.
the thing that attacks Luke. And,
So, and then while they're searching for this missing Jedi Master, there's an ice. Meanwhile, on an ice planet, nefarious forces are building a super weapon, one capable of destroying not planets but solar systems.
Ooh, I like giant space weapons.
Yeah, they're up in the ante. They're like, it's not just a Death Star; it's a death black hole, or a death supernova.
It's a death super solar system.
So that should be pretty interesting.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan.
Neither
I mean,
am I.
I kind of enjoy him, but I'd rather watch Star Trek instead.
Yeah.
So that kind of shows you what type of geek I am, I guess. I'm more of a Trekkie than a Jedi. But all the stuff I see for number 7, I'm excited to see what JJ does. He's done some good reboots and some other good movies. So we'll see.
let's hope so. Moving over to TV and back to Marvel, which, owned by Disney, kind of relates. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to have a new cast member. Not sure for how many episodes yet, but Lucy Lawless is joining the cast. That was a terrible Xena. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Is it Spanish Xena?
That would be
that'd
Chinese.
be Jackie Chan. That's
Yeah.
Jackie Chan's uncle or whatever, huh?
But that's going to be pretty cool. Lucy Lawless has still got the acting chops. She's been in Spartacus. I hear she's really good in that. I haven't seen Spartacus yet, mostly because, I'm backlogged on everything, and we'll get to things that I haven't watched later, too. Spoilers.
Spoilers for the show. You're already listening.
In addition to their...
Do we know who she's going to be?
Not yet.
She can be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, a Hydra agent, a superpowered being, a gadget wielder.
Probably a gadget wielder. It's going to have something to do
Marvel
with a gadget.
Agents of Gadgets. Gadgets of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Gadgets of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Because everything's gadgets. Yep. We haven't seen anyone with actual superpowers yet.
Or at least superpowers that weren't brought on by gadgets.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel movies has a lot of superheroes that don't have gadgets in it. Pulled that segue out of nowhere and didn't really work, but we're going to go with it.
Well, you can't say that it's a segue.
Right.
Otherwise, you ruin it all.
I keep forgetting that part. Like, I keep saying the segue.
It's like you've never worked in radio before.
It's almost like I've only had 5 episodes in radio.
I know. 4 episodes in 20 minutes.
Yes. We got an announcement that Marvel Studios has scheduled dates for movies all the way through 2019.
Dang.
Yeah, so they've got July 28th, 2017, and this is in addition to the other ones that are coming out that they've already announced. November 3rd, 2017, July 6th, 2018, which is interesting because they don't have a May 1st slot on 2018.
Ooh,
A new
yeah.
comic book day. So we might be getting something from the other franchises, either from Fox or from Sony.
Yeah, maybe even DC.
No, they wouldn't do that if it was DC. They would fight for it.
I don't know.
November 2nd, 2018, and May 3rd, 2019.
Speaking of DC versus Marvel on the dates, Marvel came out and said we have zero intention of moving our May 2016 date for Captain America 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And we haven't heard back from DC. They don't know if they're going to say anything, but they'll
They're-
probably say the same thing.
Nope.
We don't have any intention to move.
They'll move.
No. I'm talking about right off the bat. They'll say we don't have any intention to move,
Yeah.
and then when it comes closer and closer and closer, they'll push it to like the next week or the week after that.
Oh, we need to do some extra post-production. We have to move it back a couple weeks. That's why.
Yeah, sure. DC,
Right.
you chicken.
Right.
Play chicken and you lost.
DC is pretty awesome, at least TV-wise. We're flip-flopping back from TV to movies here.
That's okay. You're just doing the news,
Yeah, the Flash TV show just added another character.
which is great.
Yep.
I've had many people send me messages saying, "I watched the pilot. It is so awesome.
Yep.
I can't believe how great it's gonna be."
and that's the thing is pilots usually are less than the actual series. So.
Which means there's hope.
Yep.
If the pilot is that good and that fun, then that means that hopefully the rest of the season is just even better.
Yep. Maybe we'll get an Atom TV show next.
Ooh, that would be cool. Stargirl,
Oh.
Hawkman.
Leading up to a Justice League of America TV series.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we should really work for TV. That would be great.
Yeah, we'd make them all their money
Yes.
or lose it all.
But one of the Flash's greatest villains, or most recognizable villains,
Captain Cold, of
Captain
course.
Cold. Exactly.
He's like the
You
leader
got
of
that
the
first
rogues.
try this time. You're usually
Yeah.
like, Gorilla Grodd, the Titanic
Oh, I forgot
Man.
about Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah.
That's why.
But Captain Cold has been cast.
Okay.
Ooh, that was
Captain
Cold
Cold
has been cast congruently on the CW. Wentworth
Miller.
Yep, Wentworth Miller.
Yeah, the guy from Prison Break.
Yeah, I've never seen that show.
I watched a couple episodes of it.
How was it?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah, I can't
is
remember
he the
if
main
he's,
character.
I can't
on it?
remember if he's the younger brother or the older brother.
He kind of looks like the younger brother.
Yeah, he might be
I
the
saw
one that
some-
has like the tattoo. That he gets the tattoo on his back of the whole schematics of the thing.
Yeah.
And in a secret code, just so he can break his brother out. But then they did like 8 seasons after that because they broke out in the first season.
So that should be really cool.
So it's gonna be Captain Cold, which is awesome. It means they're gonna do. I love Flash. Flash has one of the best rogues gallery. First of all, they're called the Rogues in their group. And second of all, they have a lot of really cool characters, a lot of great backstories.
ones that you wouldn't think are good characters. Mirror Master is kind of a D-list villain. Captain Cold kind of sounds like a D-list villain. Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, the Trickster.
The Trickster. I mean, completely
Weather
D-list.
Wizard.
Weather Wizard. Which we already saw.
Glider-
You'll see
Glider.
him in the pilot.
Glider's one.
Glider.
She's like the brother to Captain Cold or something like that.
Yeah.
Mirror Master loves her. I don't know.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, there's a whole big
But-
story behind that.
I mean, setting up for a full Rogues where they all get together and fight the Flash at the same time. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that'd
I
be
can't
good.
wait. We announced it here first, Scott. There's going to be a Space Invaders movie.
Woohoo! We called it.
Yeah.
We're good.
Of course, we said there was going to be a sequel. So
Space Retreaters.
Space Retreaters. But it's been in development hell for a long time now. But finally, the producers Akiva Goldsman, Joby Harold, and Tori Tunnel are taking over. And Goldsman is the Academy Award-winning writer of A Beautiful Mind and has worked on films like I Am Legend, I, Robot, The Da Vinci Code, and Winter's Tale.
Oh, okay. So
So-
a pretty good list of films he's got behind him. Good.
So let's see how we can handle a game that consists of aliens dropping an inch and moving to the left, and then dropping an inch and moving to the right.
Wait, I think they made this movie. Isn't it called Battle Los Angeles?
Yes, pretty much. So we're gonna have to see how that does. Hopefully, he shoots through the shields at one point.
and they also made a TV show on this called like Revolution, or what's the one with the aliens where they you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, with the reptile people.
Yeah.
V.
No, not V.
Oh, no.
V don't attack. No, it's a different one. It's on like Sci-Fi.
Oh, it's Man, I can't believe that we cannot remember this. Send us an email and yell at us that we couldn't remember exactly what this. Gosh,
It's not Revolution.
Falling Skies?
Yes, that's
Thank
right.
you.
Falling Skies.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
Revolution is the one where the power goes out and they
Yeah.
all get knocked back into like
I was gonna say that doesn't have anything to do with
colonial.
aliens.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with aliens. It's all man-made stuff.
So
But-
I'm excited for it. I think that Futurama did the best Space Invaders parody show ever, where they had Commander Pac-Man helping them.
I don't remember that episode.
Oh my gosh,
actually.
I think we're getting close to it. So
Okay.
for those of you who are keeping up with our Futurama listening, we are in season 4.
Yeah, episode 2.
I think we're 3
3
actually.
now?
Yeah.
3 now?
Mhm. So keep on the lookout and keep.
That's
playing
kind of
along
our
with
dinner.
us.
That's like our dinner theater. Have dinner and watch a show. Have dinner and watch a show.
So speaking of 1980s games that are coming out to haunt you, there's a movie coming out called Pixels.
Okay, never heard of that game.
Yeah, it's not actually a game. It's based on a short film by the same name, and this one is going to be starring Adam Sandler,
Okay.
Josh Gad, who plays
It's okay.
the snowman in Frozen,
Yeah.
and Olaf. Thank you. I couldn't remember his name
Olaf.
either. And Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage.
And they just showed off the first picture of him. Oh, and Michelle Monaghan, but I don't know who she is.
I've seen her before. I can't remember exactly what she's been in that's been super memorable, but
Yeah.
I recognize her.
But Peter Dinklage has a mullet, and he looks very sassy in this picture.
Okay,
So
yes, he does.
even if there is Adam Sandler in it, I'm excited for Peter Dinklage. Apparently, the movie takes place in New York, where 1980s video games are coming out and attacking people. And it's up, and they recruit a team of game experts, including Adam Sandler and Peter Dinklage and Josh Gad.
Peter Dinklage is going to be like, I was like the 1978 Pac-Man world champion. I
Yeah.
can kick butt here.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
Isn't this called War Games or something already? They've
Yeah,
already
I
done
think
this
I think
before?
I think they already did that. Battleship.
Oh, that's a terrible movie.
I know. We won't mention it again. I have one last bit of news today.
Okay.
League of Legends. We've talked about it on the show before.
Yes.
The MOBA.
Very popular MOBA.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the most popular right now.
Do you know that they have a very weird reputation? Their player base does. Has a very trolly reputation.
Yes, I've
There's
played
a
it before.
lot
There's a
of-
lot of trolling. There's a lot of, I'm going to do stuff to your mother.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
kind of
lots of things like that when you
Well,
play.
On July 21st, they implemented a test of a new disciplinary system for extreme toxicity cases. People who are doing homophobic comments, racism comments.
So you can report them and they'll
Yeah,
actually do
and
something
they will
about them.
permaban.
Awesome.
They'll do a 14-day ban, and then they'll do a permaban
mean-
if necessary.
I understand being frustrated
Mm-hmm.
in a game. Something doesn't happen or doesn't go your way, or some team member makes a really bad mistake.
Yeah.
I've been there, but there's no reason to go ballistic on them.
I just really think that's interesting that they just came out and said, we're going to try out this new system, and if it works, we're going to keep it. So you guys better keep your heads on straight. I know that not from this ban, but 4 champion players have been banned because of their language and stuff.
Speaking of our challenges from last week, Hearthstone, I love the way they implemented it. They do not have a chat system.
Yeah.
They have you can pick from a number of random sayings that the characters,
You
like,
can
well
say,
played, thank you,
hello.
like, hello.
You can threaten them. That's like the most
Like,
you can do.
yeah, but it's like, I'm gonna win with my fire magic or something like that.
Yeah.
They need to do something.
I want to get that replaced for Jaina, where she just says, "I'm gonna win with my fire magic."
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of a good threat, right?
Yeah. I guess.
In League of Legends, they should do something like just a couple buttons. You can select, top, mid, bottom. If you're going to choose your lane, and you can select it, and it'll be selected, and so everyone can see what one you're supposed to be working on.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to be a jungler, you can go run around the jungle. You can click that, and then maybe have some other basic ones you can click on, like I need help, or push with me, or something like that. I mean, that would probably cut down a lot of toxicity. And you would, because you don't get people that can just type whatever the heck they want.
I think that the less you take out of people's hands, the safer an environment you can have.
Well, and there's a lot of kids on there. I mean, I've played with everyone from like 10 years old up to 40, 50 years old. So,
all right. Well, let's get to the little segment we like to call Salt Lake Comic-Con announcements.
woohoo! Because we're super excited for this.
Oh yeah,
Can't
we
wait.
have a bunch.
Just
this
over
week.
a month away.
Yes.
September 4th and 5th.
Really? And they've only announced this many.
I think they're going to spam the crap out of us in August. Or it'll be like the week before.
They'll be like, hey, by the way,
we have lots of tickets left.
Robert Downey Jr.
Here's all this stuff. Yeah.
No, that's not an announcement. We're not official spokesmen for Salt Lake Comic-Con. Don't go freaking out and posting it all over the internet. They did announce James Hong as
Noodles. And the voice of Shin from
Diablo 3.
Shin.
Lucky Shen.
From Diablo 3. He's the gem crafter guy.
He's basically, if you need an old Chinese guy, he's your go-to guy for movies.
And I say Noodles because he is Poe's dad from Kung Fu Panda.
So that's pretty exciting. I'm probably going to go up to him and thank him for his voice work for Diablo 3.
Oh, yeah. It's great. It's probably the funniest part of the whole game.
Are you excited for this one, brother?
I am a Hulkamaniac, actually.
Yeah,
growing up, I was all about the Hulk Hogan.
Well, he's coming to Comic-Con. So
all right, I could go say hi. Shake his hand.
You can get your shirt signed and then rip it to pieces in front of him.
I'm just gonna make him rip my shirt. Be like, I'm gonna hold out my collar and be like, hey,
please do it.
Please. I'll pay you money. You can rip my own shirt off.
One that you're gonna be more excited for than me, Gigi Edley, or Gigi.
Sounds familiar.
She's been in Farscape.
Even more familiar.
She is I don't know the exact name. I think it's Chiana, the sex slave.
Chiana Sa, I think is her name.
No. I think Chiana Sa is your WoW character that you based.
Yeah, that's right. Chiana. You're right, then. It's Chiana.
Yeah. She's the sex slave woman in that.
The gray skinned girl, white hair, comes in probably about halfway through the first season. If you haven't ever watched Farscape,
I haven't.
It's fun. You should watch it.
I think I like that a lot.
You would. Well, you like the Muppets, right?
Yes.
And it's Jim Henson production.
Yep. She's actually the host for Jim Henson's Creature Shop Challenge that I got to watch, and she's pretty. I mean, like she's a host in that, but she's good to look at. She's pretty.
Yeah, she was one of my favorite characters in that. I liked her character. She's kind of a mercenary type, doesn't really follow the rules type of thing. It's good. And if anyone out there, if you guys haven't listened or watched Farscape, I believe they're all on Netflix. I think you can get all of them. There's 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many of them. So
and you can burn through it in a week or two. And I love it. I didn't think I would. I started watching it and then I actually really like it.
It's on my list of things to watch.
Pretty much all practical effects if you're into that kind of stuff.
Yep. So if you feel like you're getting too old for this Comic-Con, Danny Glover might be able to come help you out there.
I wonder how many times he's going to have to say it.
Oh my gosh.
Probably a lot.
That's probably his just default autograph. It's just like,
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm too old for this, Scott.
I'm too old for this, Cory.
Danny, thank you very much for your...
That would be awesome.
Yeah, actually,
I'd sign it all the time. I'd sign if I was Danny Glover, I'd sign everything just like that.
Yep. I really hope, because Christopher Lloyd's going, as we mentioned before, I really hope when you walk up to him and get an autograph, like if you go to get his autograph and say, could you make it out to Scott? I really hope he just takes the initiative and goes, great Scott.
I hope so too. Ah, man, I'm gonna have to pull aside some money just so I can get his autograph.
So the last one is certainly the biggest announcement, I think, personally. I know it got my wife extremely excited because she's a huge Batman fan, and her favorite Batman of all time is Kevin Conroy as the voice of Batman
From
in
the animated
yep,
series.
and from the Arkham games.
Yes.
He's basically done Batman more than any other actor out there, and he's got such an amazing voice.
He is Batman.
Yep.
He is nothing else. He
Yeah.
is Batman, and
If
I think
you
he knows
haven't
that, which
seen-
is good.
If you haven't seen the Daily Show, not the Daily Show, but the Daly Show, Daly, with Tim Daly, you should go watch the episode where it's him versus Kevin Conroy. For those of you who don't know, Tim Daly is the voice of Superman in the animated shows, so it's really funny to see them fighting against each other in real life and being they're middle-aged men and everything, just talking regular, but they're talking like their characters. It's really cool. It's probably one of my favorite series right now on YouTube.
Kevin Conroy's got a great voice. Great Batman.
No trailers. We didn't really see any trailers. It's the week before Comic-Con. There's not that much new coming out.
I did see a new trailer, but I'm
did?
saving it for later.
Oh, okay. And I know there's a 50 Shades of Grey trailer out there for those of you who are interested in that.
We didn't watch it.
I
We have no desire to watch it. It doesn't really seem like a geek topic.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess movies are geek. For those of you who think we talk too much about comics, I guess we can try talking about 50 Shades of Grey.
It's a movie where they're trying to paint their house, but neither of them can decide on what color of gray they want.
So they go through.
They go through 50 different shades. I mean, they have to paint their house 50 times.
Oh gosh.
I mean, I think that's what the movie's about, right?
I
mean,
think that's about
I'm
right.
pretty close. I think so.
But we do have a review. We went and we played Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, the MOBA from DC, the one that I was shocked to never have heard about.
We all installed it, Scott, myself, and my wife, and we all played together as a team. I think I played Green Arrow the most.
I played Supergirl. Well, Superman first, Mecha Superman, he's
Which
a
was pretty
robot.
fun.
Then Supergirl and Atomic Wonder Woman. She's got a chainsaw on the end of a pole, and she uses it like a spear.
Which is pretty cool. I thought it was fun. It takes a little bit of getting used to. It doesn't seem like you can go right in and jump into AI play, so you can play against AI.
Yeah, they don't have. They have. You can play singular versus AI, so you can kind of hone your skills and stuff.
but you can't
But they
really
don't
do
have like
group.
multiplayer versus AI.
which is kind of disappointing. And with the number of heroes out there today, like I think there's probably 20 maybe, and everybody who's getting into it has the same 5 heroes. You're kind of all scrambling to click whichever heroes you can.
Yeah, they don't let you choose. You don't get to play the same one at all.
Nope.
You know, I think that's the same in League of Legends.
Yeah,
so.
you have to pick your character before anybody else does. And it's hard when you're first getting into it if you're playing with other people who have just gotten into it.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just picking free heroes to see who they like. But once you get at least one hero that you're good at, it gets a whole lot better. So I'm excited to play it a little bit more.
Yeah,
It
definitely
got me
have fun
stoked
with it.
to play Blizzard All-Star, not Blizzard All-Stars.
Heroes of the Storm.
It's called Heroes of the Storm now. And League of Legends again. So,
Yeah, we'll have to pick them up.
yeah. Do you have any other reviews or
We didn't see a movie last
No.
week.
This
There
week
wasn't
we're gonna
really
go
anything out.
see-
There was Sex Tape with Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel and
that wasn't
something
getting good
else.
reviews?
And, Planes, Fire and Rescue.
Yeah.
Neither of them really got very good reviews,
So-
and they didn't really pique either of our interests too much. I liked Planes, and I kind of want to see Fire and Rescue, but
I'm a super animated fan. Like anything CGI that comes
you're
out.
really animated. Like when you're out there, you're moving your arms a lot, and you're dancing around. Is that what you mean?
Yes. But if there's a CG animated movie out there, I'll go see it. But Planes really didn't interest me that much at all.
It wasn't that great. I mean, I loved Cars.
You know what's funny? Our dad wants to see it. He said that he was really interested to see Planes, Fire, and Rescue.
Has he seen the first one?
I don't think he has.
We should
Because
watch
I think
it.
he liked Cars. And I'm not sure if he's seen Cars too, but That's coming from our dad, who doesn't really.
Who's
well,
not
actually,
an animated fan.
That's what Mom says, but I think he's a little bit more animated fan than she realizes.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, I really like cars, and I'm pretty sure he did too, because
Mhm.
we're both car guys. Grew up fixing them and working on them and stuff.
I like cars for completely different reasons.
Because they get you place to place.
Mater. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Let's get into our topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
All right.
Kind of a short, small topic, but still pretty good nonetheless.
We're going to talk about conventions today. Why, you ask?
Salt Lake Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con.
Dragon Con's getting closer and closer.
Just a couple weeks ago, Fantasy Con was here in Utah. Back in April, we had Fan Experience, which is based off Comic Con. It's like their 6-month interlude between the two.
Yay!
You know,
I sounded really enthusiastic there. I'm sorry. Well, I can't help it. They had it on the same day as my wedding. You know.
Yeah, so you kind of have to choose. You know.
She wanted to choose FanX too.
Let's just go get married at FanX. Should have.
That's what they said too. Because our officiator was Mr. Craig Nybo, who's an author, and he was going to FanX all 3 days, but he had to cut short on Saturday so he could come and marry us. And he was talking to, I think, one of the directors at Comic-Con, and they're like, "Oh, they should have done it here." And he told me that, and I go, "Yeah, I want to do it in front of 50,000 nerds that I don't know." Oh
yeah, that doesn't matter. They would all just be cheering for you,
That's
clapping,
true.
And they would all love it because it's geeky stuff.
Yep.
Especially if you guys dressed up and it was like Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That would have been perfect.
You know what? Screw it. We have to do a marriage again.
in a couple years, you guys make your costumes, and you can be Joker, and she can be Harley Quinn. You guys can get married.
Sounds good. Fat Joker and Harley Quinn.
And maybe by then it'll be Fat Joker and Fat Harley Quinn. You never know.
I don't really think I'll get that fat and that fast. Oh wait, am I supposed to be playing the Joker?
You're the Joker.
Oh, okay.
Wow, did you just...
I'm so glad she doesn't listen to this podcast.
To say, good thing your wife does not listen to our podcast.
I love you, honey. If you're listening, I really do love you. And you're not
nice
fat.
Nice cover.
Yeah, thanks. So, Scott, what's a convention?
Convention is usually just a collection of people showing up at a location to either...
Adjacent to a place,
a place where you might find a monster, some kind of weird mirror.
Let's go with the first one.
Could be something much better. A convention, a bunch of people showing up at a location where they can geek out or enjoy a topic, a hobby.
Sometimes it's specific, like FantasyCon was all about fantasy.
Yeah, it was all about like Lord of the Rings.
There's
and
there's a
D&D,
Davis-oriented anime con that comes out.
Yep. Yeah, a couple of friends that go to that. They like going and dressing up as anime characters and seeing all the manga artists and, you know, watching screenings of different anime shows and things like that.
Not my thing, but you anime people, go ahead. And then sometimes they're broader, like San Diego Comic-Con covers everything from games to pop culture. I mean, Twilight was at Comic-Con.
Well, think about it this way. San Diego Comic-Con actually started as a comics-only convention. Mm-hmm. They were all about comics and comic-related stuff. And back then, there wasn't really anything Comic-Con or comic-related besides comics themselves. There was no major movies. There were very few TV shows based off of comic book characters.
Yeah, you might see Adam West there.
Yeah, you had like Batman, your old Batman. But it has kind of morphed to become... I know it's called Comic-Con, but it should almost be called like
Pop Culture
Geek-a-Con.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Pop Culture Geek-a-Con, because I'd say it's still more geek than it is just pop culture. There are a lot of companies and stuff that try to get in there, you know, like, you know, Monster Energy drinks. And they're kind of related to geeks because a lot of geeks like to drink energy drinks and stuff while they're gaming and things like that. But, you know, it's still a majority. You walk in there and it's comic book characters and anime stuff and fantasy stuff and booths that are all those three things plus more, plus video games. And I mean, there's just so much stuff.
And it's not just the convention center. There is a huge Comic-Con that goes on around the San Diego Comic-Con. That's just basically people who may not be able to get in, so they're having a party out in a parking lot, you know?
Having a big big parking lot or on a rooftop somewhere in a hotel lobby. I mean, it's huge. They said something like 200,000, 250,000 visitors over the course of the weekend. Unique visitors, not just in everyone totaled.
Yeah. That's really interesting because Salt Lake was 180 in their first year.
Yeah. Salt Lake Comic-Con it was the largest convention here in Salt Lake up until that point. There had never been another convention, whether it was...
Did FanX beat him?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. But they did 180,000 visitors. I mean, they had to close the doors because they couldn't let enough people in.
I remember we waited for like a half an hour to 45 minutes on Saturday.
It was more like 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh, really?
To get in. Yeah. It just went by pretty quick because there's a lot of cool people out there. But
everybody was in cosplay and...
Yeah, they fire marshal kind of shut the doors on them and said you can only let in so many thousand.
Because they were only using part of the Salt Palace.
Yeah, part of the convention center. They only rented out about a third of it, I think. And this year, and same with FanX, I think they rented out the entire thing.
Oh my gosh!
I remember there were so many people there that the cell traffic in the area, the cell phone traffic, just bombed. People couldn't make calls. You couldn't send text messages.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was super hard to get a hold of people.
There was more people in that convention than probably like half the population of the city it was in.
Nice. So I'll be the new goer to cons here. What's there to do at a convention?
What isn't there to do? Do you
It's
like?
just easier to say what isn't there to do.
Do you like meeting celebrities?
I do, actually.
You can meet celebrities there.
Awesome. Can I get autographs?
Absolutely. You
Can I get
picture
pictures
taken with them?
Oh, nice.
Talk to them.
Look, it costs you a little bit of money. People who are thinking that I can go talk to any celebrity for free.
You can.
Yeah.
You can actually talk to them. A lot of times people just wait in line just to say hi and just shake their hand and say, like, thank you for whatever show you did or whatever TV, episode you're in or something like that. Whatever movie that you like. You don't have to get... pay for a picture or you have to pay for an autograph because I'm going to be frank. I think that a lot of celebrities, I understand that they go so that they can meet their fans and they need to make a little money to try to cover the cost. That's fine. But $75 for an autograph, kind of ridiculous.
Lower your prices, William Shatner.
Yeah. Thank you, William Shatner.
What about, what if I just want to hear stars talking? What if I want to see behind the scenes things?
Oh, okay. Well, most conventions have entire rooms full of chairs that they book out for half an hour sessions where you can go in and either you can listen to the star talk about some stuff that they did and what they enjoy about
Q&A?
what they did. They do questions and answers at the end, so you can go up and ask your question. Sometimes if it's a stupid question, you kind of get shuffled out of there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But
I will say this: celebrities are really kind of a no guff crowd. So if you go up and you're like, "What did you have for breakfast this morning?" They'll be like, "Eggs. What the hell are you talking about? Get out of here."
Yeah. Next. Eggs next.
Okay, well, maybe I don't want to go talk to celebrities. What else is there for me?
Well, in the case of like Comic-Con, you have a main floor that is full of booths, and these are vendor booths or booths like the Weta Workshop, which did all of the stuff for Lord of the Rings. They did all of the props and The Hobbit, and the Hobbit trilogy. They did all the props. They did they did the costumes, things like that. And they come in and they set up a big area full of stuff. This year they've got like the full-size mountain trolls from The Hobbit.
I want my picture taken with those. Like there's my goal. Forget celebrities. I want me and 3 trolls going.
That's easy. And you can be very animated.
Yes.
You have that. They've got like a full-size Gandalf, full-size the white. Oh, what's his name? The white orc from The Hobbit that Manu Bennett played. That chased him down.
Asgog.
Agog. And so there's all that kind of stuff you can do. And there's a lot of vendor booths too. So if you're into geek t-shirts, hats, dice, pins, buttons, geek posters,
there's a whole section called Artist Alley that's just filled with artists selling prints, signing them, and taking commissions too.
Yeah,
which is something that I'm going to do this year. Is I'm going to get somebody to do a commission for me. I was
Ooh.
thinking maybe a skeletal hippo jumping out of an airship with the treasure chest in its mouth.
That would be pretty epic to kind of go off of our D&D, our best
Adventures,
D&D adventure we ever had, or at least our most successful, I think.
I most allowed, I would say.
Hey, you made the rule. If
no,
you
I
roll
know,
a 20,
I know.
it happens.
I know.
But so you got your celebrities.
That's a
You've
tip for
got
DMs. Don't
got
ever
your
roll. Don't ever let your characters get away with anything.
you've got your panels, which is where you can go in and listen to the stars. Not only stars in the panels, though. I went to one where it was all about the company that made all the props for the weaponry for Lord of the Rings. And they kind of talk about how they make them, where they get their ideas, things like that. There was an animator workshop. I think there's going to be one this year as well.
I know
So you can go-
Casey will be interested
You can
in
go talk
that. I'll be
into
interested in
see
that.
out animation. There's panels with artists and writers and things like that, so you can talk about your books. Craig Nybo, we mentioned him a little earlier. He's a good friend of ours, and he's written a couple books, and he talked in a panel at Comic-Con.
Yeah, I think he talked.
Or a fan
I think
experience.
he talked in a panel called like the horror genre that was all about horror
Or
from-
books and movies and things
from the
like
beginning
that.
up to now. So that's really cool. Is there's a lot to do, and if you like dressing up, cosplay. Oh my gosh, there's a huge cosplay scene there. And I mean, Comic-Con, the San Diego one has like every professional comes out. But something like Salt Lake, you can put some branches on your arms and call yourself Groot and go in and have a cosplay time. You know,
I think I'm gonna go peel off a bunch of bark off of a tree and tape it all around me, and then I can walk around yelling, "I am Groot."
have a sign so when people take your pictures, you can hold it up and just say, "I am Groot."
It's a speech bubble.
Yep.
That would be great.
So if you're really into cosplay or you're really into seeing cool and creative costumes, I know last year there was an Optimus Prime there that was pretty cool. They had a full guy in one of those Big Daddy costumes from BioWare.
Yeah,
like
that one was really
full-on,
nice.
Like couldn't get up onto the stage because his costume was so big
Elaborate
and
and
authentic.
big.
Yeah.
Probably like 50 Harley Quinns, all different types. Awesome. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. You get to see
Leia's.
you get to see everyone's take on each character.
Yeah.
We saw one that was Kerrigan from StarCraft,
Oh yeah.
and it was full on. It was really well done.
Yep. I think
Maybe
she was
they-
one of the professionals.
Maybe they should have got someone who was a little bit nicer and happier to play it. But
Well,
you know,
I guess it kind of works for Kerrigan. She's supposed to be surly, but she could at least be like happy. Well, I don't know. She didn't seem happy outside the pictures.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even in the pictures, she was kind of had a why am I here face.
Yeah.
So if you're a cosplay company and you hire girls or guys to dress up for you and you're professional, get people that are happy, that are nice, because it was kind of a put down or a let down when we went up to get her picture and she kind of like okay, you know, and I was like,
It
well,
sours the
I
experience.
was like,
That's for sure.
never mind, I'm not gonna get a picture with you.
So let's go ahead and we'll talk about some.
Back to the vendors
sorry.
thing.
Go on.
Vendors, a lot of times they have stuff for sale. Obviously, a lot of times they'll have Comic-Con exclusive stuff, stuff that they only sell during Comic-Con. So if you're into conventions, you can pick up a lot of cool collectibles, statues, figurines.
Funko Pop always
pendants.
has Comic-Con exclusives.
Yep, and hopefully, I know Comic-Con in San Diego is big enough to get this, and I think even New York now they get a lot of companies come in to make stuff just for New York Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I hope we start getting one for Salt Lake. That'd be great.
I think it's closer than you think.
Yeah, there's been let's see, we've had DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, Boom, IDW. I think they've all sponsored. Or
DC hasn't yet.
not yet.
I know. All I know
probably
is Dark
will.
Horse and Marvel. Yeah,
I
well,
think
DC
I heard
will
about
be like
Boom or
3
IDW.
months. Oh, nice. Well, I mean there's. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. It's gonna be so great, and there's so many cool artists and everything. If you have any comic book collection at all, go through it and find these artists that are coming and go get them to sign your favorite.
We've each got a couple. We go through, and a lot of times I'll go to my local comic shop and go dig through their bins to try to find an issue that I really enjoy. Tyler
cover for-
Kirkham.
Yep.
He was a local artist that actually got pretty big and did a bunch of stuff. He did the art for one of our comics. Was it World's Finest?
New
or
Guardians.
New Guardians.
which I don't read anymore because
And
he's not on it anymore.
And we grabbed an extra copy of it just so he could sign. So we could have, I mean, some people don't care, but I like to have my regular copy, and then I can have my signed copy that I can maybe like display somewhere.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So if you're into that kind of stuff, you like getting autographs. There's lots of game demos too.
Oh yeah.
Mainly at San Diego Comic-Con, but I think I saw one or two last year at Salt Lake Comic-Con.
There was a whole area set up for board game stuff, and there was a whole area for like Smash Brothers tournaments.
There was a couple computers set up too that had game demos for new games coming out. There was a Star Wars Bridge Commander crew game where you could
Star
be
Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek, where you
Okay.
could be like one of the bridge crew, and you kind of all got to work together to do a mission. Or it was pretty cool. They had some pretty cool stuff out there. Let's talk about Artist Alley.
Okay.
I think we spent most of our time there.
Most of our money there too.
And most of our money. Yeah. We are really into comic books. We're really into posters. In fact, we're surrounded by posters and comic books almost all day in our rooms and where we record comic stuff.
I see 1, 2 posters and a bunch of statues.
And 6 more that are lying in tubes that haven't been put up yet. But
Tubes.
But Artist Alley they've got artists, not only just comic book artists, but artists that are just there to sell their prints.
Yeah.
We found a couple guys that did really cool Star Trek stuff, Star Wars stuff.
Star Trek schematics, wasn't one?
Yeah. Yeah. And he kind of did the breakdown of all the ships, which was really cool. We found a couple that did all comic book character drawings and like full on poster size. They were, great. I think I spent a couple $100. I'll be buying posters and prints.
Something else that I found at Artist Alley that I didn't buy was the Necronomicon from Army of Darkness and Evil Dead, but it was soap form. It was a Necronoma soap.
See, that's one of those things that I wouldn't ever use it. It would just sit on my shelf.
Yep.
Because you don't want to release the evil all over your body.
Of course not. Release. That's that's a horrible image.
Should that be our title? Evil all over your body.
I'm writing it down as a potential. Yes.
So there's lots of stuff to do. You can pretty much find anything for anyone. I had friends that were not really geeky that went to Comic-Con and loved it.
Yeah.
Just absolutely adored everything that was there and had a blast.
Yeah.
I had a ton of fun. Obviously, I'm a huge geek. So are you as well. So, yeah.
So, why don't we get into a little bit of con tips? If you're thinking about going to a Comic-Con, Salt Lake.
Stuff we learned.
Yep.
We went to our first Comic-Con. We've been to other smaller little conventions here and there, but our big one was Comic-Con. And there's some stuff that we picked up that we learned that, that we're going to do different this year.
Exactly.
Hopefully better.
First of all, take water.
Yes.
You're going to need it. You need hydration. It's a hot room full of stinky nerds, and you're going to kind of get dry.
You're going to be a stinky nerd as well when you're there. So that's not just a jab at stinky nerds. That's everyone becomes a stinky nerd.
Yep.
But yeah, you do get super hot in there. Even with the AC going full blast, it still is cooks. Yeah. Especially if you have to wait outside in line. I know we had to do that a couple times, so it was great to have a couple bottles of water.
And they have water fountains there, so you can refill.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're spending $3 on a bottle of water because everything is really overpriced.
Yeah, and
in fact, take some snacks.
$3 if you're lucky.
Yeah. One thing that we didn't do that we really regretted was we didn't take anything that could hold our prints nice and sturdy.
And by prints you mean
posters,
artist drawings, posters, any flyers, things like that.
Yep.
But we didn't have anything to put them in. We didn't have any hard cardboard. We didn't have anything like this.
Yeah.
We didn't have a poster tube.
So it was kind of just.
So you kind of carried them around and just hope that you didn't destroy them by the time you got home. And so this year, what I wanted to do, and I think we all agreed on this, is we're gonna strap poster tubes to our backpacks.
Yep.
So that we can roll
PVC
all of our
pipe.
or poster. Yeah, that's what I was. Sorry, I was kind of assuming. But a big old PVC pipe or something we can strap to our backpack so that when we're there,
you can roll it up.
You can roll it up, slide it in, and if someone bumps into you, if you drop it, if you lean against it, it's not going to break. It's not going to bend it up.
Incorporate that into your cosplay.
Ooh, yeah, big tube. It could be like your War Machine gun that's sitting on your back.
Exactly. Another tip, take comfortable shoes. Make sure you've got a good pair of shoes that you love to stand in and anything like that, because
I suggest good walking shoes or running shoes because they're usually really sturdy, really comfortable. If you take flat-soled shoes and shoes that maybe aren't necessarily meant for that, you're going to be hurting.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of walking.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of standing.
A lot of walking in Comic-Con.
There's very few chairs. I know they had a huge section
There's a shortage of chairs.
Yes. There's a huge section of tables and chairs where we were over by the food area, but even then, if you didn't get there quick, they were full.
Yeah, and you had to kind of weasel your way in, as it were.
Yep.
Another tip, please be courteous to others. This is not push everybody out of the way to get to your booth that you want to see. There's lines, there's things there for a reason. Don't stand in walking zones is probably the biggest part of being courteous. I saw plenty of people who were standing looking behind other people and blocking traffic completely that way.
Well, and you have to consider that most people there are carrying around a backpack. By the way, that's another tip. Carry your bottle of water. I mean, your backpack, fanny pack, something like that. A lot of them have a backpack. And so you're twice the size you normally are with your backpack sticking out behind you. So yeah, there was a lot of people. Hopefully this one's better because the whole place will be rented out, not only a third of it. So it'll be, easier to walk around. But there was not a lot of room between all the different artist booths and the vendor booths, and you get into a lot of traffic jams. I mean, I remember we had to wait for a few minutes, just to cross an area because there's so many people. And sometimes, and I'm not saying do this in a rude way, but sometimes you do kind of have to start moving yourself forward and not really pushing, but kind of just sliding in between people.
Bring some butter is basically what you're saying. So you
put on your Assassin's Creed costume
and just
walk around and blend in by pushing, just slowly moving
fit in
people
with
out of the
all
way.
the dozens of other
Cosplay
assassins out there.
Yep.
Speaking of cosplay, I got one that's not on our little list of things that we came up with. When you're cosplaying, be aware that people are going to ask for pictures. Like, if your cosplay is semi-good or great, you're going to get pictures taken a lot. So if you don't want people to take your picture,
don't dress up.
Yep, don't dress up that day. Maybe pick a day that you say, I'm going to dress up this day, and then roam around and get pictures taken. Because I know that people were complaining after the second day that they were getting too many pictures. And it's like, well, you're the one who dolled yourself up.
Twice, for 2 days. So yeah, that's a good point. Pick one day to do your cosplay. You dress all up. You go hang out with in the cosplay area. You get your picture taken. You might walk around a little bit and see some stuff, but you will be asked to get your picture taken, and probably a lot. I mean, there will be a lot of times where you'll stand in the same spot for 10 different pictures from different people because everyone wants to be with Deadpool or be with Lobo or whatever you're dressed up as.
Batterine.
Yep. A ballerina Batman.
No, that would be Batman Wolverine.
No, I was thinking ballerina. Batterina.
Let's go.
She wears a black tutu.
I am the knight.
Another thing on the cosplay point, if you're not actually cosplaying, and you are asking for pictures, or you're talking to the cosplayers, or looking at them from afar, try to be courteous. Don't
be a perv.
Don't be a perv, because there are going to be a lot of scantily clad, women and men. There's quite a few barbarians there and gladiators.
I saw plenty of Colossus that were just not wearing a shirt.
Yep. So try not to be pervy, but also don't say, "Oh, that Wolverine's got the wrong color of costume on."
Yeah.
If they're trying, be courteous. They're out to have fun.
It doesn't matter if they're just wearing a 2-ply mask. That's not 2-ply, a toilet paper mask.
Well, if they're playing a mummy, cosplaying as a mummy,
that's true. Work. But yeah, if you see a mummy that's just wearing Charmin, clearly Charmin toilet paper, don't be like, "Oh, that mummy's not authentic. They wear linen wraps." They're there to have fun. They actually dressed up and they took the time, what little time it may be,
Yeah.
to dress up and have some fun. And it's not your place to tell them that they're doing things
Yeah.
wrong.
There's a lot of judgy comments I heard.
Yeah.
Just from walking around, and people would be like, "Oh, that Batman's, he's just got a Batman shirt on. He doesn't actually have a full-on armored Kevlar costume." Well, yeah, not everyone can either A, afford it, B, do it, or want to do it. Maybe they just wanted to throw a cowl on and a cape and call it good.
It's okay. It's okay to comment with your friends and say, "Hey, look at that one. That one's kind of Batman on a budget, But don't be like, as Will Wheaton says, don't be a dick."
Yep, that's a good motto. Don't be a dick. Just be nice. People there to have fun. They're trying their best or their worst. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and please be nice when asking for pictures. Don't just be like, Deadpool, take a picture with me. It's like, hey, could you please take could I get a picture?
If it's Deadpool, you say, hey, I've got a chimichanga for you if you take a picture with me.
Like 10 Deadpools suddenly swarm you and they're like, ha!
Yep.
But yeah, don't be demanding when it comes to getting pictures taken and things. Just be like, dude, I love it. I love your cosplay. Can I get a picture with you?
Also with the
or do you mind?
Yeah.
Like even that, if they're taking a lot of pictures, just walk up and say, do you mind?
Can I get a picture with you?
Yeah.
Sometimes they might be busy and might be on the way to the bathroom or something, and they've got a half an hour of taking off their costume to go. So sometimes you can't. But one thing back to the don't be a perv, there's gonna be a lot of cosplayers there that are women that dress up as superhero characters or female characters that may be scantily clad, or they're supposed to be sexy or whatever. Don't just try to go up to them and put your arm around them real quick. A lot of girls that do this tell me that they don't like that. They hate when that happens.
Yep.
Because they didn't give. I mean, you're touching someone else without their permission.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're cosplaying, it doesn't matter. If you want to take a picture, kind of judge it. If she kind of puts her arm around your waist or something, you're probably okay to put your arm on the shoulder or whatever. But if she doesn't and she just wants to take a picture, you can probably just lean in sort of next to her and smile, or
thumbs
point
up,
and be like, thumbs up in the air, peace sign, whatever you want.
That's my go-to picture taking thing.
Thumbs up.
Yep, thumbs up. The last one that I have is engage people.
Yeah.
As Captain Picard says, engage.
Well, what do you mean by engage, Cory?
Well,
Enlighten us in the audience.
Well, there's a lot of people there who share a lot of common interests. That's why they're there. But you can't just walk around Comic-Con looking and hoping that somebody walks up to you and starts talking about your favorite fandom. If you see somebody wearing a Deadpool costume and you love Deadpool, go up and say, "Man, I really love Deadpool." But don't be like, "Oh, what's your favorite issue?" And then when they don't say it, say, "You're not really a Deadpool fan." But find people who share your interests. When you're at the game table, talk about other games that you play and see if you can find a common interest. Make some friends. Get some, maybe even if it's just Comic-Con friends, get some people there who you can be walking down the hall later and go, "Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh yeah,
we're heading to this panel. You want to join us?"
Yeah, I met more people there than I ever imagined I would. I'm not usually one that likes crowds, but I was having so much fun that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I was seeing people all over, and they'd be like, "Ah, cool, Jane hat. I love your Jane hat." And they'd be like, "Yeah, thanks."
Great Ace Ventura cosplay.
Yep.
Not kidding. There was an Ace Ventura there.
It was good too.
Yeah,
it was really good.
He was really
there was
good.
a Crazy Dave from Plants vs Zombies.
We actually have a Crazy Dave picture. I have it.
Yeah,
somewhere.
where he's holding a real sunflower in a pot, and he's got a real pot on his head with his T-shirt.
It was really cool.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was great.
And it's just do stuff that people would not expect. I don't mean take off your shirt and start running around acting really animated, but
like Cory does.
Yeah, like when we were walking out, I think either the second to last or the last day, I saw at least a dozen assassins, and I just called out, "Hey, can I get every assassin over here to take a group assassin photo?" And a bunch of them came over, and it was a pretty fun time because everybody was like, "What do we do?" And I was like, "Just assassin," and everybody started
assassinate things.
Yes, it was really cool.
Go over there and do assassin stuff.
You'll find something at a con. That is the main thing. You'll always find something to entertain yourself.
I talked to people from the Weta workshop about making swords, about how they made Sting and how they made the Goblin Slayer. I think that's what it's called.
The Goblin Cleaver.
Goblin Cleaver
Yeah.
that Gandalf has. And I talked to them for like 20 minutes about how they made it and like what kind of processes they use. I don't make swords, but I was still super interested in how they did it, whether it was like made from a machine or if they all did it by hand. I mean, you can find anything. Talk to people about your favorite, Star Trek stuff. They've got a whole booth full of Star Trek things. Obviously they're Star Trek fans.
And we talked about this last time where the guy walks up and goes, "Oh, I have all these books." Don't start a conversation like that.
Then say, if you have all the books, walk up and say, "Hey, I loved your book. I thought it was great. Like, man, I'd really let me get a copy of it to, have you autograph or something like that."
Yeah, exactly. Last little bit of advice I would say is if you want to get into a panel, make sure that you give yourself plenty of time.
Yeah.
Not only to stand in line, but to wade your way through the con.
Yeah, it would take us between 15, 20 minutes to get from panel to panel, just from the human traffic.
Yeah.
And
human trafficking at its finest.
And there was about an hour, probably about a 45 minutes to an hour wait if you wanted to get a decent spot or even get in. 'Cause sometimes they fill up. There was a couple that filled up pretty dang quick. John Delancey from Star Trek filled up. William Shatner, Star Trek filled up.
I know.
Stan Lee.
Yeah, we
were
barely
there.
got in.
We were there for about an hour and a half. We got there an hour and a half early, and it was almost full. The line was huge.
Yep.
So, yeah. And if you can, and if you bought the VIP tickets, you get a little bit of a bump ahead. So that's kind of a bonus too. Maybe that's I got some other tips.
Okay.
Bring money. You're going to need it.
And see you at Disneyland, bring money.
Bring cash. I recommend cash because it's easy. It's easy to carry around. I mean, it's not easier than a credit card to carry around, but a lot of these places aren't going to have. They're not going to have a credit card machine to swipe your card.
Some of these vendors are just private collectors that are trying to sell off some of their material.
I know a lot of them are now getting the ones that attach to like their smartphone, which is awesome, but not everyone has them. So I found that I was a lot better with cash than I ever would be. They have ATM machines, but obviously they're going to charge like $5 to just withdraw money. And I recommend bringing as much cash as you feel you can. Yeah. I went in with about $400 total, and I spent most of it. And that was on posters, some T-shirts, I think I bought a hat. I bought food. Yeah. Convention food is expensive.
Oh yeah,
very $15 for a burger.
And anything around there kind of jumps up in price a little bit too.
Yeah. So bring lots of money and be ready to spend a lot of money. I know a lot of people will go in on a budget, and that's great. Have a budget all you want, but a $50 budget's not going to get you very far.
Yeah, and also I would say when you go into the convention the first day, you're going to see a lot of things you like. Hold off. Yep.
By the last day or the end of the second day and the last day, if it's a 3-day convention, it's going to be either massively discounted or they're going to be trying to get rid of it as quickly as possible.
Yep. They'll give you a deal like, oh, we buy this print, I'll give you this one for free.
We talked a guy into buying. It wasn't like we tried to, dupe him or anything. Yeah. He was just like, I'm trying to get rid of a lot of this because he made so many for the convention. And we're like, well, how about like 4 for $20? And he's like, well, maybe 4 for $25, which was a great deal compared to $10 a piece.
Exactly.
Or $15 a piece. And we were able to, I think we probably bought like 20 posters from that guy.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, it's not just that it's going to be discounted, but there's always going to be other stuff. If you run out of money and you get to something you really love, you're going to regret it. And do something crazy. Like it doesn't have to be usual, just, oh, I bought this sword or, oh, I bought this comic that I really wanted. Go out and find like a commission and just say, hey, I want a commission of something completely off the wall that's unique to you. Yeah. That's the thing is these conventions have a lot of things where you get something unique. I know that you can commission statues from certain people. Yeah. And they can make these amazing statues for you. So you keep that in mind when you're going.
Did you ever get that call back from the scanner where Cory did one where he had to stand on a platform and hold a pose while they spun the platform around and took pictures all the way around, and they were going to make a figurine of you.
Yeah, well, I would have to buy it. Like I'd have to buy into their Kickstarter, but they said they were going to use it anyway because I did kind of this cool noble pose. And the way I look, if you've never seen me, is I kind of look like the fat noble, which, you know, if you're going to make a miniature of a fat noble,
the noble
I'm
of
kind
the
of
town.
a good, yeah. Or, you know, I should have done a town
It just
drunkard
means you're
one
wealthy.
too.
You're well
I should
fed.
have been like, and done the town drunkard. I think that's it. Scott, do you have anything else?
Parking.
Oh yeah.
We parked in the parking garage on the first day,
Mhm.
and it was like $15 to park, which may not sound like a lot if you're not here in Utah, but for Utah, that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
On the second day, we didn't get there until an hour after it actually opened the doors, and everywhere within a 4-mile radius was just full. So if you have really good public transportation in around the area, we've got good
front runner.
We've got some good transportation here in Utah. We've got a train that runs along the mountainside.
It actually leads right to the convention center too.
Yeah. So that one that's really good, which I think we'll probably do this year. Both
you
times.
have your free pass.
Well, I have a free pass now because I work for him, but yeah, I'm toting the job I work for.
Yeah.
Ride my trains.
Ride the train. Ride my train.
My trains
That
now.
might be the episode name.
Ride my trains.
Ride my trains.
I don't have anything else on conventions. Have fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's all about having fun.
Good
If
luck.
you're-
Have fun.
If you're not having fun, don't go. I mean, I hate to say it, but if it's not something you're into, if you don't like crowds, if you don't like, spending money, you're probably not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
By the third day, I was pretty exhausted. I got about halfway through the day and I was like, okay, I'm pretty much done.
I think
I'm
that's it
done
for
with
us.
this.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
Once that third day, you get to a lot of panels because you're like, oh, an opportunity to sit down for half an hour.
I can sit down in a chair for an hour and listen to someone talk. Maybe take a nap.
Yep. All right, let's get into our picks of the week this week.
All right.
Scott, you've got a pretty exciting one.
I do. And I mentioned earlier that I saw a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess in this case, a cinematic that I was really into.
Hang on. Green podcaster needs food badly.
Okay.
Wonderful. I hope you all
drink
enjoy
that
this.
beer, Dr. Pepper beer.
My mom listens to this podcast, man.
You drink that Dr. Pepper beer. We should do a drunk episode. That'd be hilarious. I want to see what you're like drunk. Okay.
Probably angry. I'm assuming I'm going to be very angry.
Lots of pounding on the table.
all of this like geek, like, oh, geeks are great. Everybody should get along. That's just like me on the surface. I'm sure.
You're suppressing it all. It's all deep down inside.
Yeah, I'll be like, I don't like how Superman doesn't have underwear anymore.
Then we definitely need to. Maybe it'll be like our 100th anniversary.
Yay.
Cory gets
100th
drunk.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Is that like 100th episode?
Yes.
Or is okay? I was going to
100th
say
episode, not 100 years. No, 100 years. Cory gets drunk. It's just going to be a lot of. And that's it. That's what it'll be because we'll all be dead after 100 years.
Sorry.
Anyways, my pick of the week, League of Legends came out with a new cinematic.
I love their cinematics.
They're almost as good as Blizzard.
I would say, yeah, you're right. They're almost as good.
They're getting better too. If you've ever seen the first one, it came out a couple years ago. If you haven't seen it, go look it up on YouTube. It's great. It's got a bunch of characters from the game fighting each other.
Basically, it shows you what the game is like.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they just fight each other in random places and do all their attacks. Well, they came out the second one, and I watched it about 3 times now.
3?
Yeah, and it's 6 minutes long, so it's not that long. So you can watch it 3 times pretty easily. But it is great. I have a lot of fun with it. I guess my pick is not necessarily just League of Legends. It's cinematics in general.
Okay.
From games like League of Legends,
Like you
or
said, Blizzard
StarCraft,
has
World
some
of
really good
Warcraft.
ones.
They have a lot of really good ones. I love that animation style, and that's what I'm geeking out about this week. Because I saw that and I was just like, "This is great! This is the coolest thing I've seen all week."
Well, mine is a book.
A book?
Yes, without the pictures.
You can read?
Yeah, and it's a real problem because when I get a good book like this one, I just can't put it down, and it affects the rest of my life.
Nice.
It's called "Please Don't Tell My Parents I'm a Supervillain."
Oh, I thought that was going somewhere else. Please don't tell my parents I'm a porn addict or something like that.
I can't remember the author's name, but I'll look it up here for you. But basically, it's this 13-year-old who's waiting for her powers to emerge, and they emerge in a weird way. but her parents don't realize that she has them because, well, they're superheroes too, but they think that her powers haven't quite emerged yet. So she ends up becoming a supervillain behind their back without meaning to. And it's written by Richard Roberts, and it's a really good book. It's all first person view. The character talking about it is the main girl, and she's really funny in it. Like, she's got some good humor. And
Where can you find this book?
I got it off of Amazon. It was on Kindle for $5, which is a really good deal. And it's $13 if you want to buy the paperback.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, not bad
pretty
at all.
standard. Let's see. It's got a lot of good reviews.
Yep.
A lot of people really like it.
There's some places where the editor kind of skipped over the typos, but that happens with every book.
Yep. They get kind of either in a rush or, they get tired and they've read 1,000 pages of the same book over and over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm about 70%, because I can tell what percentage I am on Kindle. I'm about 70% through it at this point, and it's getting really good. And the problem that I have with books lately is George R.R. Martin has completely ruined me when it comes to books, because I keep expecting the absolute worst thing to happen to these characters. I'm not going to get attached to you because something really bad's going to happen, and I'm going to be...
I don't like you because you're going to die soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, you're not dead? You went the whole...
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow, that's crazy.
I guess I should have liked you more.
Yeah, I have to go back and read it now. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It also recommended some other ones to me. Something, one was Confessions of a D-List Supervillain.
Okay.
And which sounds really good. I got actually the recommendation for this book off of my last week's pick of the week, Girl Power. He was reading through it and he just finished it, and so he plugged it out there in his little channel. And then another one that I saw was NPCs, which is a book about some non-player characters who end up taking the role of the player characters after the player characters die suddenly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I want to go through the sample chapter on that and kind of see if I like that. So I'll get back to you guys.
All right, Cory. Challenge. Did you watch
No.
Battlestar Galactica?
No, I'm just going to say no right now.
No?
No, but I have free time tomorrow, so I'm probably going to bust through the 2 episodes, and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Scott, did you play the
I
Hearthstone
updated
Adventure?
Hearthstone.
Oh, great.
But I also started a new job, so there's my excuse for the week.
I don't have any
I've been
excuse.
busy.
Actually, it's been a pretty busy week for
It
me,
has
too.
been pretty hectic.
Yeah, I've had a lot of
So
work.
we both fail. Wah,
Yep.
wah.
Okay, moving on. Next.
Next.
That's a show right there. You've just been listening to it.
Okay, so wait. You just want me to continue my challenge again? And
Yeah.
we're gonna go like weeks or months before this. Maybe we should make it like once a month challenge.
It's not that bad. It's really it took me 30 minutes to play through the regular normal mode on the solo adventure.
That's gonna take you 40 minutes to play through an episode. So look who's talking.
I know. Okay. So is that your challenge for me this week too?
Sure. Yeah, we'll keep it up. Maybe if we come up with something else, we'll post it on the Facebook page.
Okay then. Well, that's a show.
That is a show.
Yeah.
That's our 5th one.
Yeah, 5th episode.
Probably not our best one, but
Really? Well, I mean, you know what? We'll talk about our critique off the air so people don't notice it, huh?
yeah. We can be like, oh man.
I know there's some exciting things coming. I'm going to be working on some of the Let's Play videos that we did. I did one for Infinite Crisis, and we've done one for Minecraft where Scott got to learn how to play Minecraft.
Yay!
So,
which now I'm fully addicted to. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think we should play it right after this. We should dig more holes.
I have a prior commitment.
Nope, you don't. Let's dig more holes.
Digging holes.
Yay!
So if you'd like to keep an eye out for those, you can check out our YouTube channel at
youtube.com/Acts of Geekery, ACTS.
You can email us at actsofgeekery@gmail.com, ACTS.
Yep. And our Twitter handle is at Acts of Geekery, ACTS as well.
And you can also follow us on Facebook and keep up to date on the latest news from us at facebook.com/Acts of Geekery.
Yep. And we'll see you next time.
I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And this has been Acts of Geekery.
Keep geeking out.
See ya.